It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we're going to see Junior Colson. He's a nightmare to deal with in the front seven. It's the Chargers and the Ravens on Monday night.
If you're a Freeway fan, we're just east of the 405. One of the modern jewels of the NFL. Beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. So good to have you on board with us, Mike Tirico, Greg Olson here. Greg, you look at the marquee, and it's a lot of offensive stars here. I'm looking at the other side. Defenses better show up here if you want to walk out with a win.
Yeah, I think the burden, of course, lies on the players, particularly the players in the secondaries of both of these teams. They're going to have moments where they've got to win one-on-one, as you said, against some of the top offensive skill players in the league. But I also feel like
set for football. The crowd is definitely ready. So are we. Off we go on EA Sports. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Ravens led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, Lamar Jackson, already season 7. Greg, he's won a couple of MVPs, and he's as talented as we see in the league.
We had a chance to sit down with him this week, Mike. It almost came across to both of us that he wasn't entirely over last week's close loss. And he made the point. He said, listen, playing quarterback in the NFL, you're going to be judged.
Oh, and they come after him right away, and down he goes on the first play of the game.
This is a defensive coordinator just testing the waters. How is your protection plan? Do you have a plan for any linebacker or second-level pressures? Well, I think we got the answer in this one because they had no answer for it, and you can bet he's going to continue to dial those up.
And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. Third and long. From the gun, Jackson. To the tight end, Likely.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a fourth down decision to make.
And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down. So here come the Chargers, the offense getting set to come out, and leading them out at quarterback, man who played his college ball at North Dakota State, it's Easton Stick.
I think the biggest thing that stood out from last week's game was when they went into the game with an initial plan, how quickly were they able to get away from that when they realized it wasn't working? I think they got a lot of unscouted looks, meaning the defense threw a lot of exotic looks at them, blitzes, different fronts and coverages, maybe things they didn't work on all week. So the key this week is understand what is the defense looking to do today and how fast can we make those adjustments if we're not having early success.
To throw is Stick. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Third down and 9 yards to go.
Here's Stick. Good decision to take off. He gets 15 yards and a first down.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
He'll burrow his way forward for a couple. Roquan Smith there to bring him down. Hook him up on a second down and 8.
It's second and 8 at the 46-yard line.
Now it's Dobbins. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up third down.
A 2-yard pickup brings up third and 6.
Stick. He'll try to run for it. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a first down.
Having a quarterback with this ability to run is such an X factor in today's NFL. It's an element of their offense that you have to be prepared for on every single play. Here we see it on third down. Starts out as a pass, nowhere to go with the ball. He tucks it, turns into a runner, picks up the first down.
We'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2.
At the Ravens' 32-yard line.
On the ground, here's Dobbins. And he'll get the first down there, a pickup of about 5 yards.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. 2nd and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down. Nice job by the defense. They had that one well read from the beginning, Mike. Someone's responsible for the running back, but the key here was the defender responsible for the quarterback. Stays with him, keeps him to a short gain.
He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down. Dicker's kick is good. And the Chargers will take a 3-0 lead.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
Lamar Jackson and the Ravens headed back out again. And he continues to be a nightmare for teams trying to defend in the red zone. Look at this graphic. 2nd in the NFL in terms of rushing touchdowns by a QB. Now the first carry for King Henry. And they'll bring him down around the 27-yard line. Derwin James, the former All-Pro, in on the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 9.
At the 27-yard line.
He'll go again here with Henry. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
This is what every defense in the league is shooting for, Mike. Negative plays. That's how you kill drives. Force teams to play from behind the sticks. Great job here, taking them down for a loss.
On third down, Jackson. Taking off, he'll try to get there.
And that's a great job defensively here on third down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the first down.
Here's Jordan Stout now. And he's on to punt for the 2nd time in this opening quarter. And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The Chargers offense ready for their 2nd possession. They were able to turn that opening drive into points. 3-0 our score as they start again with a first down. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
That one complete to Johnston. And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
They'll give it to Dobbins. And a good tackle out wide will hold them to a gain of just 3.
He was brought down by
2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7. At the
That's
45
Palmer, the man in motion. Stick to throw. This one complete to Palmer.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
False start, offense.
So from 3rd and 2, back him up to 3rd and 7. Here's Stick to throw. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throw away.
And I like the idea of moving the pocket. It makes it harder for the defense to rush the passer, but you have to account for the end man on the line of scrimmage, and that guy's job is to set an edge. Nobody gets outside of me. In this case, the quarterback. You've got to be better protecting your edges anytime you put your quarterback on the move.
So here's the Baltimore offense getting set for their next drive. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10.
Timing and trust, critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
2nd down, Jackson. He finds Likely, his tight end. And he's across the 40, close to a 1st down, as the tackle's made at the 41-yard line. Here's 3rd down and a few inches. Aguilar goes off in motion. 3rd and short, Jackson. He'll get this out to the left flat. He will have a Ravens 1st down. That'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches. They motion the slot man left. To the air one more time with Jackson. Aguilar able to make the catch. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
They will not get this one off. It'll be a delay of game. On the zone read, it's Mitchell. He'll get this across midfield to about the 49. Junior Colson there to make the stop. Here's a 3rd down and 4. So we've played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. The Chargers out to the early lead. We're back in Southern California in a moment. Here's a 3rd down and 4. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. He finds his receiver. That's Bateman. And he's going to have the 1st down. And that one good for 9. And the drive continues.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need, but really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
Now, deep ball for Bateman. And that is incomplete. Rashad Bateman, the intended target, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Lamar. He'll keep it on the zone read. And they're going to bring him down, but there is a penalty marker on the field. They get the guard, Ben Cleveland. They'll work straight ahead with Henry. Tough to bring down, and somehow he manages to get 4 yards out of that. 3rd and long. Jackson now. Look wide. Get this one complete. Forget about it. They're going to lose more yardage there. Good job by the defense, and it's 4th down. Out is Justin Tucker to try the field goal. And this is a long one. Officially 64-yard field goal attempt.
You have to give him credit, Mike. I mean, that shows a lot of faith in your kicker because that is an ambitious effort from that distance.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They'll run it with Dobbins out of the pistol.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
A run with Dobbins. Now a flag comes in. It was thrown by the umpire. The pickup is 4, but usually that's a holding penalty. That's on the guard, Zion Johnson. Throwing, stick. That's to the rookie from Georgia. It's Ladd McConkey. And he's going to be brought down inside the 15.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone. And this is where you have to finish drives.
Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work 1st and 10. Here's Dobbins. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down.
The tackle made at the 12-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
They're going to motion their tight end, Hurst. Now stick. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. They can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
9 yards to go.
They'll throw out of the gun. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Cameron Dicker now on for the field goal. Officially a 29-yard attempt. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Chargers, on the strength of 2 field goals, take a 6-0 lead.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over. The Ravens offense ready to take over once more. They're still in search for their first points in this one, but only trailing 6-0. And this drive will begin with a 1st down. Play action now. Jackson. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. On the ground, here's Henry. And he'll only get it to the 26-yard line, setting up 2nd and long. 3rd down and 9. Here's Jackson. And this drive is over before it can start. He's swallowed up to force fourth down.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
On comes the punter now, as he's standing right around his own goal line. Now fair catch is taken back inside the 40. The Chargers offense getting set to get back to work. They work with a 6-point advantage as they start this drive on 1st and 10. His drive will start on the ground, and he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. He's going to lose a yard. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. He's going to let this one go deep. And penalty flags come in as it winds up incomplete, but no doubt there was contact there. On the move at the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Following the penalty, they'll run it. And he's fighting to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not do it. This is going to be a loss of a yard. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. Now, faking the give. And he does a nice job to avoid the initial wave. They're going to get him down behind the line.
If there's one positive remaining, it's the fact that they're still in scoring position. But with the way they've been able to move the ball down here in the red zone, they're thinking 6. But after that last sack, their chances of converting here for a touchdown.
Oh, this pass rush dialed in right now. They get him again.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get into the backfield and bring him down. And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They trail here by a couple of scores. The margin is 9 as this drive starts with 1st down. They'll start out on the ground with Henry.
Holding offense.
That's on the center, Tyler Lindebaum. Slot man in motion right. To throw is Jackson. This one complete to Bateman. And he'll be taken now. That's a pickup of 18 and will set up a very manageable 2nd and 2. Good tight end motioning left here. They'll run. It's Henry. Trying to find somewhere to move forward, but nothing going. Tackled for the loss of a yard.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
They'll try and run for this with Henry. And he's going to go backwards yet again. The defense stands up tall one more time, and they force a 4th down.
How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back? But not this guy. Does a great job staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings him down for a loss.
And he'll be brought down, short return, and they'll take over there. So now here comes the Chargers as they get set to take over once more The cushion is 9 as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. A throw left side, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
It's pretty remarkable at this stage, Mike, that they're even winning this game. I mean, anytime a quarterback is completing less than 50% of his throws, you just don't see that very often, and it just seems like time and time again, this quarterback and his intended targets, they're just not on the same page.
Oh, can't afford another incompletion here. Quickly, it is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And they will continue to go backwards. He's taken down for a sack.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now, their pass protection is breaking down, and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
Here's J.K. Scott now, and he'll be looking for something better after that poor first punt. And he's going to make a fair catch just beyond his own 40-yard line. The Ravens offense ready to get back at it. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. A 1st down throw for Jackson. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. After that incomplete pass, we have a player shaken up. The training staff going to look and will step out for a moment. They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Here's the give to Henry running right. The defense all over this one. They get him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a couple.
Sometimes you run all those big bodies out there, you kind of tip your hand. I always love going big jumbo personnel for a play action. In this case, they keep the ball on the ground. The defense knew it was coming, and they suffer a loss.
Jackson from the gun on 3rd down. He'll try and get there on the ground.
The defenders knew a pass was coming. They had their ears pinned back here on 3rd down, but they initially allowed him to escape the pocket and make a break for it, but give him credit. They recognized the scramble quickly, rallied to the ball, stopped him short of the 1st down.
So that one going to land out of bounds, and the official's going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. The Chargers offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down.
At the 26. It's the pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Off play action. He'll set up to throw. He's going to air this one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 4.
They're going to motion their tight end, Hurst. They'll throw here on 3rd and short yardage. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. Here's the punter now, as he's on to punt for the Chargers. A fair catch here, called for and made beyond the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. On the give, here's Henry. Not much happening there, just a short game.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line.
2 minutes remain here in this 1st half. Greg and I return to SoFi Stadium after a short break. Here's 2nd and 9. Bateman is the motion man. Jackson now on 2nd down. Open man is Bateman. He's got him. 3rd and 5. From the gun, Jackson. And on third down, that ball incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball, and he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Whoa. Oh, but he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. The Chargers offense back onto the field for their next possession. Will try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Here's Stick. He's got the hookup downfield with McConkey. And he will take this one in. 83 yards. Touchdown, Chargers. Dicker, the kicker for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Chargers add on one more as they extend their 2nd quarter lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Tylan Wallace now on the return. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The visitors' offense ready to get back to work. Down a couple of scores now, 16-0, as they want to get going here. Drive starts 1st and 10. That's to the tight end, Charlie Kolar. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. A throw left side there, not going to find the target. Incomplete.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
Here's Mitchell. And the tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line. Now a timeout here by Baltimore. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 1st half. Jackson now to throw on 1st down. Got a man left side. It's caught. And they're into field goal range now as he's got the 1st down at the 26-yard line.
A gain of 14. 1st down, Ravens.
Now it's Jackson. He'll find Aguilar, complete. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. He makes up for the earlier miss. This time, the kick is good. So, we have hit halftime here on a Monday night as we send you cross-country to the Sunshine State. That's where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. All yours, Coach.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone. This is the EA Sports halftime report. So let's get you caught up on what's going on around the National Football League. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. J.J. McCarthy, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Denver Broncos. Gardner Minshew, sharp in the victory, as his guys get back within a game of 500. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. These two teams ready for the second half, and so are we. So let's get you back out to Mike Tirico
First
and Greg
half
Olson.
played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The home team's offense and their big play wideout getting set for their next possession. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with first down. And a good job following his blockers, a gain of 7. It'll be second down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Now Spiller. And he'll get this up close to a first down, working it to the 33-yard line. You don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. From the pistol, they run with Spiller. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert on 3rd and 1.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
A run. It's Spiller. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
It's too early at this point, Mike, to really start thinking about the clock. You definitely don't want to go into a shell. But now this is the point in the game where having a good ground game really starts to take over. You throw to get the lead, but man, once you get it, that ground game, that's what finishes the game off.
To throw is Stick. To the left side, catch made by McConkey. Second down and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at their 49-yard line.
Stick. That's to the right side and incomplete. Lad McConkey, the one he was looking for. Third down coming up.
Marlon Humphrey on the coverage.
Here's Stick to throw. We'll try to work the screen with Spiller. And that screen slow to develop, and they rally to the ball and stop him. That will be no gain on the screen. The Chargers get set to kick it away. He's on to punt it for the 4th time tonight. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. The visitors' offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 27-yard line.
Jackson gonna keep it himself. And nothing cooking on that one. He'll be met and tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
The decision whether to keep the ball or to hand it to the back happens so fast. In this case, the quarterback thinks it was a keep read. The defense was there ready to stop him. Tackle for loss.
3rd and short, Jackson. He finds Likely, his tight end. And it looks like he's going to have the first down. What great work after the catch to extend the drive.
First down, Baltimore.
Back to throw, Jackson. He runs with it.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
Jackson out of the pistol. Aguilar able to make the catch. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
And the Ravens first down.
Contact up front. Did they get one of the defenders to jump?
Infraction, defense. Still first down.
So, a lot of options on the table now. It's 1st and 5. Lamar going to work from the pistol. To the tight end, likely. Just a short pickup there on 1st and 5.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd down, Jackson. Now he'll run it. A big play and a much-needed one as well. 31 yards.
This is an element to his game that we don't necessarily spend a lot of time talking about. He's not known as a traditional runner at the quarterback position. But when he has some space like he had here, he is more than capable of not only converting first downs, but picking up big chunk plays.
Slot receiver, headed right. He's trying to get around the corner, but can't. Going to be run down behind the line. A completion, yes. A loss of yardage, yes as well.
At the Chargers' 18-yard line.
It's the tight end, likely, in motion. Play clock down to 0. That's going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense. Still 2nd down.
Now, Jackson. And a good job rallying to the football. Hold him just a gain of a yard and sets up 3rd down. Here's Jackson. He'll try to run for it. He is dangerous when a play breaks down. A pickup of 18.
Those plays are killers for a defense. You think you have the quarterback hemmed in. You think you have a chance for your pass rush to get you off the field. Instead, he gets away, picks up some tough yards, and sets his team up 1st and goal.
Oh, he feels the pressure, and he'll go down back at the 6.
If there's any silver lining for this drive, Mike, it's the fact that at least this sack occurred on an early down. So I guess technically they have a chance to claw themselves out of this hole, but that's the 3rd sack of the game. And this defense doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
In motion comes Walker. They'll run it over center with Mitchell. Looking for a seam, but will not find one. He'll take this down to the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal. Jackson. And he's so close to breaking the plane, but the official's going to come in and mark him short. So now it's 4th down.
You could tell that this defense was ready for this exact play call. They know that they're going to give their quarterback a chance both through the air and on the ground with his legs. They do a nice job stopping him short of the goal line to force 4th down.
Aguilar goes off in motion. And he's not going to get there. They stopped him at the goal line. It's a turnover on downs.
You know, Mike, look, there is no more dynamic quarterback with the ball in his hands than Lamar Jackson, especially on 4th down. So for this defense to be able to come up with that stop, that is a fantastic job.
The home team's offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They are backed up about as far as you can be, operating from their own 2-yard line. 3 tight ends in the game to start the drive. They're going to motion their tight end, Hurst. They'll run with Spiller. Oh, he is going to be swarmed under, met in the end zone. It's a safety. You are hoping your running back can do something to give you space. And, Greg, they got the absolute opposite. Instead, it is a safety.
Yeah, exactly right, Mike. That's all they're trying to do is give themselves some breathing room and get their quarterback out of the end zone on this next snap. But instead, the defense is all over it. They get in the backfield for the tackle for loss, and it leads to the safety.
Here's Hardy to return. The visitors' offense ready to get back at it. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back and in some of these coverage units when you know that ball's got to come out fast. And right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
His 8th reception of the game, and good for a first down. Jackson now. And that ball incomplete over the middle.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
Now Jackson. He's going to tuck it and go. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the first down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
It's the tight end Likely in motion. On 1st and 10, Jackson. Now a screen set up for Henry. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. It's a zone read, and Jackson's going to keep it. He's going to force his way for a yard or two, but looks like this one's going to be coming back. That's on the 2nd rounder out of Washington, Roger Rosengarten. On play action, here's Jackson. Sending it downfield for Likely. That ball incomplete. Got the hands in there to break it up. Could have been a big gainer. Instead, it sets up a 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. Look wide. Get this one complete. Well, this one is in reverse again. They're going to lose more yardage here, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
Man, what a big-time play here by the corner. It feels like he knew that play was coming before the ball was even snapped. You can see he sticks his foot in the ground and bursts. He ends that play before it even has a chance to get started.
So we are through 3. Back with more Monday Night Football after this. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Spiller. And he'll get 4 here, up to the 24-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Here's Spiller. And the defense there to meet him. They'll hold him to 2 and bring up 3rd down.
Down at the 26. A gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 3rd and 4.
They're going to motion their tight end, Hurst. They'll throw here on 3rd and short. This throw taken in by Hurst. And he's going to have the first down taken down after a short pickup of 5, but it will keep the drive going.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
They'll turn and hand this one off. And he surges forward for a gain of about 5. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. They'll stick with him again. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. 3rd and 6.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 6.
Throwing, stick to the right side and hauled in by McConkey. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
That might end up being the backbreaker right now. This defense desperately needed to get off the field and give their offense a chance to cut into this 2-score lead. But instead, they now got to defend a fresh set of downs. And as you look up at this clock, they might be running out of time.
Couple of first downs has them out to the 45-yard line as it's 1st and 10. He'll get this one out to his fullback. And he'll try to use that size and push forward, but it will not work. They're going to get him down behind the line. So after the loss on 1st, here's 2nd and 14. Now stick. He'll get that complete to Donald Parham. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down. Converted twice on 3rd down already on this drive. Now can they do it for a 3rd time? Taking off, he'll try to get there. Strong running there. He brings this down inside the 25.
Here you are at the end of the game. You need a stop. You find yourself trailing. You have everybody covered, and the quarterback gets loose. Those are the plays that just kill a defensive coordinator. You're about to force a punt, about to get the ball back to your offense. Give credit to the quarterback. He made a play when they needed it.
They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Now it's Dobbins. And nothing on that one. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Important one here. Want to keep this drive moving. Got to pick up 3rd and 4. Stick to throw. And that is incomplete.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
For the Chargers field goal. A 36-yard attempt.
Another one through the uprights. He's 4 for 4 on the game. And the Chargers will add to their lead here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Hardy now with the return. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens headed back out again. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end trying to come up with a way to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. On 1st down, they'll start the drive with Henry. Wow, it wasn't for lack of effort. He tried every which way to elude the defense, but he was outnumbered. They finally got him down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of yardage. Jackson now on 2nd down. Trying to set up the screen to Mitchell. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 9 and third down. Coming up. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on third down. It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up fourth down.
That's complete. He's got Hardy. And he'll be out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35-yard line. First and 10. On the option, they give it to Henry. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
This is a guy who's been doing it at a high level, Mike, for a long time. Not too many running backs finding success in the NFL past the age of 30. That's usually when they kind of ride off into the sunset. But as always, there's the exception to every rule.
Off the play fake, Jackson. A pass pulled in by Henry.
Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly second down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
A tight end in motion now. A give right up the middle to Henry. And he'll have enough to move the chains. He'll take this forward for about 3 yards. Well, a chance to get right back in it here. First down and goal. From the shotgun, here's Jackson. He's going to keep, and he will score. Game on. Lamar Jackson. Touchdown, Ravens. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
His kick is good. Makes the score Chargers 19.
So, things a little more interesting now. Back to a one-score game as they kick it away. Here's Darius Davis to return it. Good return here. Brings it up to the 33-yard line. The Chargers offense headed back to take over once more. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. Here's Stick to throw. Throw left side, but that's going to be incomplete. Quentin Johnston, the man he was looking for on that one. And it'll lead to a 2nd down. Here's Stick. This one finds McConkey. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the 4th quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
They'll come up here. 1st and 10. A run with Dobbins. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
He was tackled at the 27-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
They're going to motion their tight end, Hurst. They'll give it to Dobbins. And he'll get this inside the 20. A nice run. They're in the red zone. It's 1st down.
Second down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
They're going to motion their tight end, Hurst. Now whistles. Play clock at 0, and that'll cost them
Delay of game.
5.
Offense. Still first down.
On the ground, here's Dobbins. And he's going to be taken down, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 11. They bring a tight end in motion left. Here's Dobbins. He'll take this forward maybe 2-3 yards, but doesn't matter. We have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. Now Spiller. And a nice run there as he surges forward, a gain of 8, and sets up 3rd down. They'll try to get this one on the ground. He'll be stopped here short of the first down marker. Penalty flag is out as well. That's on the former first-rounder, Rashawn Slater. Following the penalty, they'll run it. They try the same thing, and a similar result. Back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. Here comes 4th down.
For the field goal, a 49-yard attempt.
And this one, right down the middle. It's good. And that could be big. They now take a 2-score advantage.
So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. Back out is the reigning MVP of the league, Lamar Jackson, and the rest of this Baltimore offense. This is 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. They'll try to set up the screen here. He's got room past the 35. Love to start any drive like that. 18 on the first play. And a first down.
18 on the play. And the Ravens first down.
One of the tight ends in motion right. A first down throw for Jackson. Trying to get away, but he will not. They finally run him down. 2nd down. Jackson. Off-balance throw. It's complete. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
A gain of 22 yards.
Jackson now to throw on first down. He's got his tight end likely downfield. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. They'll need to score and do it quickly. Still 1 timeout left. The final minute, 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, but that is incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. That is a worrisome development here late in the game. Big play in the game right here. It's third down. Again, it's Jackson. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. And they're going to have enough to convert here. And it sets up first and goal. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. Now, first and goal. To the air one more time with Jackson. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up second down. Jackson up top again. And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack. So this one is over. It's in the win column for the Chargers. They're able to bounce back after a difficult loss a week ago, respond with a much better overall performance, and it culminates in a victory. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. The Chargers are winners here as we say so long from SoFi.